Let me tell you about Ayden, a kid who was about to have his life turned completely upside down. It all started on a pretty normal day, or so he thought. Ayden's class was on a field trip to the city's science museum. There were dinosaur bones, cool chemistry experiments, and even a special exhibit on spiders from all over the world. Ayden was fascinated, peering into the glass tanks at all the different types of spiders. But as he leaned in for a closer look at a particularly strange one, something unexpected happened. A tiny spider, which must have escaped, dropped right onto his hand and bit him. Ouch. It stung for a second, but then it was gone. Ayden just brushed it off and rejoined his friends, thinking nothing more of it. But that night, something felt different. Ayden tossed and turned in his bed, feeling weird and tingly all over. The next morning, when his alarm clock went off, he reached to turn it off. But his hand shot out like a rocket, faster than he'd ever moved before, and he accidentally smashed the clock. Whoa, what was that? Later, while trying to get a book from the top shelf in his room, he reached up and his fingers just stuck to the wall. He pulled his hand back in shock. He tried it again, slowly pressing his palm against the wall. It stuck. He could actually climb the wall, just like a spider. He jumped. And instead of a normal jump, he soared halfway across his room, landing softly on his feet. This was incredible. Ayden's heart started racing, not from fear, but from pure excitement. He had secret superpowers. He was just a regular kid living with his mom and his older brother, but now he was something more. Felt so cool, like he had the world's best secret. He spent the rest of the day testing his new abilities in his room, making sure his mom or brother didn't see. He had super fast reflexes. He could stick to any surface, and he could jump higher than anyone he knew. This was way better than any video game. He realized the spider bite from the museum must have done this to him. It wasn't just any spider. It was a super spider. As the sun went down, Ayden couldn't just sit still. He knew he had to use these new powers for something good. He found his old Spider-Man suit and began to get dressed. Once he was sure his mom and brother were fast asleep, he quietly slipped out his bedroom window. The city at night was a whole different world. He leaped from rooftop to rooftop, the wind rushing past him. It felt like flying. He was no longer just Ayden. At night, he was the amazing Spider-Man, a young hero ready to protect his city. That first night, he stopped a purse snatcher, his super speed making it easy to catch up to the guy. The woman was so grateful, and Ayden felt a rush of pride. He knew this was what he was meant to do. Night after night, it became his routine. He'd do his homework, have dinner with his family, and then, when the city was quiet, he'd become its protector. He stopped robberies, helped people who were lost, and made sure everyone was safe. He loved being a hero, loved knowing he was making a difference. He was helping people, and there was no better feeling in the world. But being a superhero wasn't easy, especially when you also had to be a regular kid during the day. Hiding his secret at school was the hardest part. How do you explain to your friends why you're suddenly amazing at dodgeball, catching every single ball thrown at you with lightning-fast reflexes? Or why you're always a little tired in class? Ayden had to come up with all sorts of excuses. He'd yawn and say he stayed up late reading a good book. During gym class, he had to pretend to be clumsy sometimes, just so no one would get suspicious. It was tough, juggling his life as Ayden, the student, and Spider-Man, the crime fighter. His mom and brother started noticing he was tired a lot too. His mom would feel his forehead, asking if he felt sick. His brother would tease him about being lazy. Ayden just had to smile and say he was fine. Couldn't tell them the truth. How could he? "Hey, Mom. Hey, bro. Guess what? I swing around the city at night fighting bad guys." They'd think he was crazy. So he kept his secret locked away, even though sometimes he really wished he could share it with them. It was a lonely secret to keep, but he knew it was necessary to protect them and to protect himself. The weight of it all was heavy, but the joy of saving the day always made it feel worth it. Then came the day that changed everything. Ayden was in his math class, trying his best to focus on fractions, when a huge crash shook the entire school building. Everyone screamed and ducked under their desks. Ayden peeked out the window and his jaw dropped. A giant monster, slimy and green with way too many eyes, was stomping through the schoolyard. It was bigger than a bus, roaring and smashing everything in its path. This wasn't a simple robbery. This was a real, full-blown monster attack right at his school. Panic filled the classroom as the monster swiped a claw at the window, shattering the glass. The monster's huge, ugly face peered into the classroom, its many eyes locking onto Ayden's friends, who were huddled together in fear. It let out another terrifying roar and started to smash its way into the building. Ayden knew he couldn't just sit there. His friends were in danger. There was no time to wait for another hero. He was the hero they needed, right here, right now. He had to act, and he had to act fast. Ayden got to the classroom. He took a deep breath. It was time for Spider-Man to make his debut in the daylight. He burst into the class and ran towards the monster. "Hey, ugly," he shouted. "Pick on someone your own size." The fight was intense. The monster was incredibly strong, smashing walls and throwing desks like they were toys. But Ayden was fast and agile. He dodged the monster's clumsy attacks, leaping and flipping through the air. He used his web shooters, a little gadget he'd built himself, to spray webs into the monster's many eyes, blinding it temporarily. He swung around the classroom, using his environment to his advantage, confusing the giant beast. The other kids and teachers watched in amazement. Who was this incredible hero? He was so small, yet so powerful and brave. Ayden knew he couldn't just keep dodging forever. He had to end this. He saw a pile of heavy gym equipment in the corner of the destroyed room. An idea sparked in his mind. He swung up to the ceiling, using his webs to grab some weights and throw them at the monster. And with a final heroic yell, he let it go. It came crashing down right on top of the monster's head. The beast swayed for a moment, then fell to the ground with a thunderous thud, defeated. Silence. Then the whole room erupted in cheers. The students, the teachers, they were all cheering for him, for Spider-Man. Ayden had done it. He had saved them all. He quickly checked to make sure everyone was okay. Then, before anyone could ask too many questions, he swung out of the broken window and disappeared. Later that day, the news was all about the mysterious new hero who saved the school. That evening, the whole city was celebrating the new hero. Ayden watched the news with his mom and brother. They were talking about Spider-Man, about how brave he was. His brother thought he was the coolest hero ever. His mom was just glad that all the kids were safe. Ayden felt a warm glow inside. He had protected his friends, his family, and his city. He was Ayden, a young kid from the neighborhood, but he was also the amazing Spider-Man. And he knew no matter what challenges came next, he would always be there to save the day. Thanks for watching our story today. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing adventures.